Powered by Riverside.
Welcome to Talking Eagles with the Cover 2, and I'm your host, Glenn Erby, the managing editor of the Eagles Wire. Today, we'll talk the Eagles offseason workout program, OTAs, and a quick recap. Now, we'll start at the quarterback position. You have Jalen Hurts. He just signed a new deal, 5 years, $255 million. He's the man at quarterback. This year will be about stabilizing the offense under Brian Johnson, taking it to new heights, being more accurate, being more consistent, instead of Hurts trying to prove himself or spending the next 2 or 3 years trying to prove himself. He's now about building on his resume. He was an All-Pro last year, second team All-Pro. He was MVP runner-up. So this year it'll be about Hurts taking the next steps, being more efficient, continuing to be efficient as a passer, continuing to be on time as a passer, continuing to be on time as a leader, while taking less hits as a rusher. Backup quarterback, we have Marcus Mariota. He'll take over for Gardner Minshew, who took his talents to Indianapolis with Shane Steichen. From a scheme fit, it's an equal match. It's a better match. Mariota's a true dual threat quarterback. He's a guy that can run the ball. He's a true leader in the locker room. He's a guy that, even with Jalen Hurts entering year 4, at quarterback, the established leader on this team, Mariota's a guy that he can talk to, that he can lean on. A good mentorship, a good relationship with. The third quarterback battle will be something to watch. It'll be something that we'll be taking a look at over the next month or so, especially with training camp starting. You'll have Ian Book, former Notre Dame quarterback, was claimed by the Eagles off of waivers last year from the Saints. He'll battle 6th-round draft pick out of Stanford, Tanner McGee. McGee's the bigger quarterback, big, strong arm, physical guy. Book was in the system last year, spent all 17 weeks on the active roster as the third quarterback. So that'll be something to watch. At running back, that'll probably be the position group to watch this summer, in terms of you have Rashad Penny, you have DeAndre Swift, you have Kenneth Gainwell, you have Boston Scott, the Giant killer, back on a 1-year deal. You have Trey Sermon trying to get his footing. So I think from a position standpoint, from a group standpoint, that'll be the group to watch. Who's going to be the starter? Eagles like to do things from a committee approach. Who's going to finish things off? I think you'll see a situation where Kenneth Gainwell and DeAndre Swift will start the game. They'll alternate carries. You'll still see some Boston Scott, and I think you'll see Rashad Penny in and out during the first and second quarter of games. But as the Eagles get leads, as the Eagles run teams out of the building, when they get into the second half where they want to establish the running game, slow things down, I think you'll see Penny explode and be able to do the things that he needs to do from that standpoint. So running back is definitely something to watch. They'll likely only keep 3 or 4 guys on the roster. There are 4 or 5 capable guys on the roster at running back. That'll be a position group to watch. At wide receiver, you have the dynamic duo, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, 2 of the top 10 receivers in the NFL as a unit. They'll be back together. You'll have Brown trying to break his single season mark of 1,496 yards from last year. You'll have Smith trying to break his single season reception mark for a wide receiver. So that's in place. The battle to watch will be for the third wide receiver spot, and you'll have Quez Watkins, the incumbent. He's entering the contract year. He's entering his 4th year. Can he be more consistent? He admitted that last year was a struggle. It was a down season for him. This year he'll have competition at that third spot from former Virginia star. So you have a situation where Watkins is the deep threat. You want him to be more consistent, while Ola is a guy you can put in the slot. You can use him with the bubble screens. You can lose him all over the field. So that'll be something to watch. At the tight end position, you have Dallas Goedert returning. He missed 5 games. He got hurt in that Week 10 contest that lost to the Commanders. Missed 5 games after that. That probably cost them an All-Pro season, a Pro Bowl season. That's what we want to see from Goddard going forward. It's time for him to earn his first Pro Bowl berth. It's time for him to become an All-Pro. It's time for him to show that he's one of the top 3, 4, 5 tight ends in the game. Behind him, you'll have Jack Stoll from Nebraska tight end, solid run blocker, solid in pass as a pass catcher. You want to see him take the next steps, try to get more repetitions. I think the third tight end battle will be between second-year guy Grant Calcaterra, former Oklahoma guy, has chemistry with Jalen Hurts, and then you have Darnold coming over from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Big physical guy, big pass catcher, athletic, good in space. That'll be the matchup to watch. At offensive line, you have the NFL's top offensive line returning, and that's with Andre Dillard taking his talents to the Titans and Isaac Samalo taking his talents to the Steelers. So you have Jordan Mailata at left tackle. This year will be about him making his first Pro Bowl, trying to become an all-pro. He's probably one of the top 10 offensive tackles in football. He's Jalen Hurts' protector. He's a story that's going to be turned into a movie one day. You have a guy that was drafted in the late rounds of the 2018 draft, spent 2+ years learning the game, not touching the field. Spend that to 3 years forward. He signs a new deal. It's a lucrative deal. He's one of the most physical left tackles in the NFL. Is he perfect? By no means, but he's getting better each day. He's a guy to watch. At left guard, you have Landon Dickinson, Pro Bowler in his second season last year. Hill, again, is another one that will look to take the steps to becoming an all-pro, to becoming a dominant force, to becoming one of the best left guards in football. At center, you have the guy, the legend, future Hall of Famer Jason Kelce returns. In my opinion, I think this is his final season. We'll see. He loves the game, but he also has a budding media career going on. He has his New Heights podcast with his brother Travis. He's an all-pro. He's a future Hall of Famer. So it'll be on Jason Kelce to decide when he wants to retire, but I think this would be it. At right guard, you have a battle. You have Kelce's successor at the center position, Cam Jurgens, sliding over to right guard. He'll battle Tyler Steen, rookie left tackle, former left tackle at Alabama. He'll now make the transition to guard. You'll also see Jack Driscoll in the mix there as well. So I think that's something to watch. We spent all offseason talking about Jurgens, his size. He's only about 305. He's bulked up this offseason, so he'd like to come into camp at about 315. When we know most offensive guards, most right guards, even Isaac Samalo last year played at about 325, 330. So I think for Jurgens, it'd be about bulking up, proving that he could play with size, proving that he could be athletic. We know he's athletic. We know he can play in space, but it'd be about him proving that he could play next to Lane Johnson. And speaking of the best tackle in football, the best right tackle in football, Johnson returns after missing the final 2 games of last year with the groin injury. He played through pain in the playoffs, spent 10 to 12 weeks rehabbing. Best right tackle in football, hasn't given up a sack, hasn't given up a quarterback hit in over 2 years. At this point, he's looking to play out the last 3 years of his contract with the Eagles before he retires. He's looking to maintain his excellence. He's looking to help this offensive line maintain their continuity as a group. And the Eagles are almost unbeatable with him in the lineup. So we're talking Eagles. We're talking the offseason program. We're talking OTAs. We're talking one of the best offenses in football. And that's it.